Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back for another video. We're going to show you guys how to do a 40-yard bunker shot in this video, one of the hardest shots to hit when we play golf. So the reason why I think it's so difficult to hit the shot is people tend to not have a reference point to work with. So the key here when you practice a shot, if you're able to, is just work with a reference point and then calibrate yourself in terms of how hard or how fast you're going to make your downswing in accordance to your reference points. So before we get to that, before we calibrate ourselves, let's talk about the setup and the technique needed to hit this 40, 50, 60-yard bunker shot. So here at Cedar Brae on the putting green, I've paced off roughly 40 yards from this ball to that hole. So what we're going to do here is, if you watch my previous bunker videos, we've mentioned that entry point is very, very important. So here I'm still going to hit the ball roughly 1 inch behind the ball. So I'm going to make this line 1 inch behind the ball as a reference for me to practice hitting this shot. From here, I've also mentioned I don't like to be too open with my stance, because if our stance tends to be too open, we're going to swipe across it and it's tough to direct the energy and the sand towards the target. We want to be able to displace the sand towards the target, not in any other direction. So with that in mind, I'm going to draw a line as well, which helps me align myself up relatively straight to my target, which is the hole on the putting green. So from here, we get to the reference point, okay? If you watch my wedge videos, you know for me, I love waist high to waist high swings and stomach high to stomach high for 10 yards more. For this particular shot, because we're hitting sand first and we're losing so much speed into the sand, I'm gonna make a bigger swing. So I've decided on making roughly a full backswing, where I feel like in order for me to load myself and calibrate myself to have a consistent delivery, I'm going to use my legs. I'm going to use my legs and make this as athletic as I can, so I don't have to rely on accelerating my arms or my wrists too quickly. So with this shot, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up normally 50-50-ish. My ball is left of middle, and what we're going to do, I'm going to hinge it up, and you can see I load into my right side. It's roughly a full swing, and from here, as I load and gather myself on the right, I'm going to then make this athletic and drift to the left and unload the energy into the sand. As you can see, when I do this, I'm able to enter the sand roughly 1 inch behind the ball, and you can see the pace of which I'm doing this at is not very aggressive. I'm not making a normal full swing 58-degree shot, 58-degree club shot, where I would typically go. You can see I'm not doing that. Because the shot is quite delicate, I've calibrated myself to going at this with a very even flow. So what I mean by that is, I feel like as I gather myself to the right side, I'm going to gather myself and then unload and drift left at the same pace, almost to a 1-to-1 ratio in terms of speed on both sides. So kind of like this. So 1, 2. And you can see again, I've drifted left and unloaded off my right, and I've been able to hit 1 inch behind the ball. So I'll do one more practice swing before I hit the shot. Again, I'm going to gather right and load right as I drift and unload everything into the sand 1 inch before. And you can see I enter the sand again pretty good. So hopefully when I hit the shot for you guys, I'm able to then replicate that and see what I can do. So I got a 40-yard shot here. We're gonna set up with a square club face, ball position just slightly left of middle. I'm gonna load and gather right, and then I'm gonna drift left and unload everything into the sand, okay? So let's see what we can do here. And I've hit a pretty good shot. It's downhill lie, it's just not checking enough. So I'm gonna try to adjust on this next one. So I've carried that one roughly 40 yards, it just didn't really check. So hopefully I can hit a better one for you guys here. So I'm gonna hit this again, 1 inch behind. I'm gonna gather myself and then drift left and see what I can do. So try one more for you guys. I hit a really, really good shot here. Carried at roughly 35, and I checked I tried to check quite a bit, just the downhill slope makes this difficult. So maybe I'll try to carry this a little bit shorter, and I'm gonna redo these shots from a different angle so you can see the sand, see the ball come out. So I'll try one more time for you guys. So pretty square stance, ball position left of middle, square face. I'm gonna gather myself and then drift left. So we'll see what we can do here. So yeah, not too bad. So I'm gonna hit a few more shots. I'm gonna piece it together with this video. You guys can see it from the down the line and from the pin angle. So hope that helps. Any questions, leave in the comments below, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks, guys.